Scope News presents a deep dive into pretty privilege, colorism, and the uncomfortable truth about what it really means to be light-skinned in Black America. Recently, a 50-year-old woman posted a TikTok confessing that she experiences pretty privilege. Her light skin, her loose curls, and her light-colored eyes often draw compliments from strangers and attention from men. But instead of celebrating it, she seems to be pleading. "We get hate too," she says. "Y'all don't know what it's like out here for pretty girls." Here is the actual clip.
Pretty privilege is real. I have seen people gravitate towards me and then all of a sudden like compliment me on my eyes, my skin color, my hair, whatever, right? So it's real. People do actually, I guess treat me differently because of it. Now, because of it, the different treatment is not always good, okay? Sometimes the treatment is negative and it's bad. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on. So I'm gonna need you people who hate on people who are pretty to at least take into consideration that we getting it out here. Like, we already getting it. We don't need it from you as well. Like, for real, like, give us a break. I mean, be mad at moms and dad. Huh? We didn't do it. We didn't ask to be put here to look like this, okay? Whatever we was mixed up with, it's here and we didn't have anything to do with it. So I was in a public spot a few weeks ago, and there was a gentleman who was talking to me more than he was talking to the other ladies in the room. And ever since then, those ladies have been treating me like shit. And it wasn't my fault. He was just talking to me. I mean, probably because I was confident enough to speak back to him. I don't know.
And while many users dismissed her as delusional, confused, or desperate, what she actually described, knowingly or not, is one of the oldest, most painful legacies in Black America: the complicated, layered, and historically dangerous territory of colorism. Because let's keep it real. What she's describing isn't just pretty privilege. It's the modern, everyday face of colorism. But the way she framed it, as if being attractive is a curse, doesn't go far enough. It ignores the history. It glosses over the trauma. And it erases the truth that for over 400 years, lighter-skinned Black people were not just considered prettier. They were treated differently and often resented, not because of beauty, but because of what that beauty represented: proximity to whiteness, legacies of abuse, and the emotional scars left behind from generations of exploitation. That resentment didn't come from nowhere. It came from the plantation. When she said people talk to her more than others, she's right. When she said people show her more interest or even treat her differently, she's absolutely right. But what she didn't name is the centuries of systems that made that behavior normal. Systems that taught us to see light skin as safe, beautiful, refined, and dark skin as threatening, unattractive, or loud. And these aren't just beauty preferences. They're hierarchies. Ones that didn't start on social media. They started in slavery. Take Eartha Kitt, for example. She was born in 1927 on a cotton plantation in South Carolina. Her mother was Black and Cherokee. Her father was white, possibly the very man who owned the land. Eartha didn't grow up praised for her light skin. She wasn't chosen or adored. She was hated, bullied, ostracized by Black children and adults alike, because her skin was a constant reminder of what had been taken, of a white man forcing himself into a Black family. She was called names, treated like she didn't belong, and eventually sent away. Eartha later recalled that she never felt fully accepted by Black or white communities. Her beauty wasn't a blessing. It was a weapon used against her, a target on her back. So when today's pretty girls post that they're being hated on, we have to ask, are they being hated for their beauty, or for what their beauty symbolizes in a system built to divide us? Now let's talk about Freddie Washington. Born in 1903, she was an elegant, light-skinned Black actress during the height of the Harlem Renaissance and early Hollywood. And here's what made her different. She could have passed, easily. She had the look: light complexion, wavy hair, refined features. At a time when passing could open doors, save lives, or create careers, she made the radical choice to stay visible, to stay black. Her most iconic role came in Imitation of Life, 1934, where she portrayed Piola, a light-skinned black girl who passes as white and loses her mother, her family, and herself in the process. But in real life, Freddie wasn't confused about who she was. She joined the Negro Actors Guild, advocated for equal treatment, and called out racism in the entertainment industry. She didn't hide, she resisted. And because of that resistance, she paid a price. Hollywood didn't know what to do with her. She wasn't dark enough to play the servant. But she wasn't white enough to play the love interest. She was too black to pass, and too light to be cast as authentically black. She lived in a liminal space where neither side gave her access, just expectations. So let's go back to the woman in the TikTok video. When she says she's being treated badly because she's pretty, we need to ask deeper questions. Who benefits from the system that defines what pretty even is? Who set those standards? And how many black girls have been overlooked, dismissed, or deemed too dark because someone else walked in the room with light eyes and a looser curl? What she may not realize is that all of this isn't just personal. It's systemic, it's generational, and it's dangerous to frame it as jealousy or to center the conversation around who a man decided to talk to in public. One of the sharpest comments under her video said it plainly. When pretty privilege is centered around the male gaze, that's when you become a pick-me. That line might sting, but it also cuts straight to the truth. Pretty privilege often isn't about confidence. It's about desirability. And desirability is a market shaped by patriarchy, media, and colonialism, not love. In the black community, lighter-skinned women have long been propped up as wifey material, while their darker-skinned sisters were called aggressive, masculine, or unworthy. It's not just about who gets chosen, it's about who gets erased. And when a woman is only valued because men like her appearance, she's not powerful. She's disposable. That's what makes the stories of Freddie Washington and Eartha Kitt worth revisiting. They lived at a time when appearance shaped everything: careers, relationships, safety, and their experiences tell us something about how complicated it's always been to move through the world in a body that others constantly try to define. They didn't always have the luxury of silence, and how they responded to that pressure offers a lens into choices that many still face today. For anyone navigating these conversations now, whether online, in beauty spaces, or in everyday life, it can be helpful to look back. Not to draw exact comparisons, but to see the patterns, to understand the context, and to recognize that none of this started yesterday. The past has a way of helping us make sense of the present. No one has all the answers, but there's value in asking the questions. The woman in the video didn't invent this dynamic. She's living in it. And she's clearly still trying to make sense of what it all means. But as long as we mistake pretty privilege for pain, and ignore the deep, historical pain that made it possible, we will keep talking in circles. Pretty privilege only exists because ugly systems made it so. And the only way to break that curse is to start telling the truth. Scope News tells the truth. Here are the facts. Special thanks to primary sources, including Freddie Washington, a Negro actress who refused to pass, archived interviews and photos via blackpast.org, and analysis of the 1934 film, Imitation of Life. Eartha Kitt's biography and interviews via PBS's American Masters provide direct accounts of her traumatic upbringing and experiences with rejection tied to her mixed-race identity. Commentary on colorism and beauty hierarchies was supported by peer-reviewed studies from the Journal of Pan-African Studies and archived transcripts from Howard University and the University of Georgia's African American Studies Department. The TikTok video referenced has been circulating online, shared across platforms with thousands of stitches and responses from Black women reflecting on the deeper context. Observations on desirability, male gaze, and social currency come from essays in Black Looks by Bell Hooks and beauty standard critiques from The Atlantic, Essence Magazine, and the work of scholars like Dr. Yaba Blay. Legal disclaimer. This content is intended for educational, informational, and commentary purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. Scope News aims to reflect historical accuracy and cultural nuance while recognizing the limits of available material, public discourse, and fair use commentary. All individuals mentioned are acknowledged with respect to their lived experiences. Any media or quotes referenced are used under the Fair Use Clause for critical commentary, educational analysis, and public discussion.